Welcome back, y'all. Let's talk Broncos. That's good Broncos. Together, we're That's Good Talk Broncos. Bree Macis, Will Keys, Joey Richards, Zach Seegers. Let's get rolling, guys. And while I play this clip, go ahead and think of what you're grateful for. Obviously, it's Thanksgiving week, and we have a lot to be grateful here in Broncos country. The Denver Broncos are on a 4-game win streak. Can they make it 5? But before we get into that, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention our favorite sides for Thanksgiving. Guys, what do you like to have alongside your turkey or ham if you swing that way?
Mashed potatoes. It's always the go-to one. I don't think you can go wrong with it. And I don't like. Here's my thing with Thanksgiving is all these sides, like mashed potatoes is great because I can eat it without Thanksgiving. Like all these other sides, I would be making them more if they were actually really that good, I think. That's my Thanksgiving hot take. So yeah.
I think stuffing's great. But I think you would be judged if you were making stuffing in July. Like what? No matter how good it is. I think if someone told you like, oh yeah, I'm having like stuffing for dinner, you'd be like, in July? I think just because it's weird. It's against the social norms. I think it's good food though.
A little like 4th of July hot dog stuffing.
Yeah.
In the 100-degree weather.
Yeah, have stuffing with your hot dogs.
So you mix it with a hot dog bun instead of what's the other ingredient that they make stuffing with?
Turkey. I have no idea. I don't know.
Bread, right?
Yeah, breadcrumbs.
Bye, Will. We'll see you at the end of the show. No, I'm just kidding. I'll bring you back. All right. So I was setting up jackpot words and I wanted them to say it. I wanted to see if I could lead them into saying that bread was one of them. We've got 2 other words on the list. And I promise I wasn't going to drive you into the rest of these, but obviously sides are great. I love a little sweet potato. We're going to give some bold predictions today on the show. I don't like being down here. Sorry, Joey. We're going to put you over there. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. 5-game win streak. The injury report is out for Wednesday. You've got PJ Locke, who did not practice. That's probably not boding well, as Kareem Jackson is out for the next 4 games. He's eligible to return for the Patriots. Is that correct, Zach?
Yes.
Okay. And so then you have Josie Jewell, who is limited. DJ Jones, Samaje Perine limited, Nick Benito, Baron Browning, and Mike Purcell were full participants. Do you think that Locke will be ready to go on Sunday against the Browns?
I mean, I'm leaning no, but based on him not participating at all today, I think, it's possible. Maybe I've missed a report or something, but I'm not unfortunately optimistic about it. And I think it's absolutely huge that he plays. When the Broncos have been without him and Kareem Jackson back there at safety, and it's been DTY in the mix, it's been a bit of a Where's Waldo situation. Like, find that guy on defense and then target him. And I don't know. That said, the Browns quarterback situation is pretty inept. I think we'll get into that as we talk about the game. But I don't know. Don't make it any easier on him. And that is a way you could make it a lot easier in the secondary.
Yeah, I mean, DTY has been kind of this is a big one. This is a big one. The Kareem Jackson thing is bigger because we are down a lot of safeties. People forget that Caden Stearns is also out, and he's been out for a while. DTY really shouldn't be getting playing time like at all. He's out there to be a special teams guy. And when you see him out there actually playing defense, it's a little bit noticeable. I want to see JL Skinner. Like, I at least show me something, Show me something exciting. Show me something new, because I've seen DTY out there and it hasn't been all that impressive. So I hope that if Locke is out, it's Skinner. I want to just see something new, something different. And against a team that should be running the football a ton. That's something Skinner was always really good in college. And he's big physical safety, almost like a linebacker coming downhill. So I want to see him.
Looking at like Skinner's college tape at Boise State, like he looks like he's bigger Kareem Jackson. Like he's about to get suspended for another 4 games just based on the way he hits. But I think you need a guy like that out there.
Yeah, I agree, especially in this one, right? The Browns want to play physical football, and the Broncos' run defense has not been good. Having a guy that's 6'4", 220 out there, would help.
And not only do they want to play physical football, and you're concerned about that with Kareem Jackson being out, but the rest of the spine of that defense, DJ Jones wasn't a full participant in practice. As Bree mentioned, you had Josie Jewell not being a full participant in practice. I mean, that's maybe your three best run defenders in the middle of your defense, all Kareem being out with suspension. And then you've got the other two somewhat limited with injury. PJ Locke's probably in that mix too, in terms of like ranking your best defenders in the middle of the defense. He's wounded. Thankfully, it seems like Mike Purcell's a full participant, but that's concerning. And this Browns team wants to run the football. I don't know if I'll be able to jam this nugget in elsewhere, and I think it's fun. There's 44 quarterbacks in the NFL who have dropped back at least 40 times this season. The bottom three in terms of EPA CPOE composite. Okay, third worst, Tommy DeVito. No surprise there. Second worst, DTR. DTR. Worst, PJ Walker. So they have really poor options at quarterback. I don't think the ghost of Joe Flacco is going to save them. But if they can run all over the Broncos, it might be reminiscent of that Week 5 game from however many years back.
What a laughable quote from that press conference, that Joe Flacco would be available to support the quarterback room. I laughed heartily. Will, I don't know if you got a kick out of that too. I wasn't a fan of Joe Flacco during his time here at the Denver Broncos, but the quarterback situation is in flux for the Cleveland Browns. Karma, maybe a little bit. Will, I want you to go into our first bold prediction of the evening, and go ahead and try to predict the future here for Sunday's game.
This is not my bold prediction, but I just want to say this up front. If I see Joe Flacco running onto that field, I'm terrified. I don't care what year it is. I get PTSD, Vietnam flashbacks to 2012, and I'll not enjoy that. So DTR, please stay healthy. Keep Flacco on the sideline, just nowhere near the field, please. But my first bold prediction is each team has a defensive touchdown in this game.
Wow.
I think the Broncos are second in the NFL right now with 19 forced turnovers. The Browns have the most giveaways in the league with 20. You got DTR. I think he makes a rookie mistake. There's a pick six. And then the Browns just have, they have a great pass rush. I think maybe Russ gets strip sacked and someone recovers it and scoops and scores. So I think each team gets in the end zone with their defense. And that's the only way I think my eventual score prediction is going to be as high as it is.
Yeah, I can see this one happening. I can see this one happening here. It's funny because I think all of our bold predictions, maybe I'm wrong, but my bold prediction for this episode is that all of ours have to do with defense being good and offense being bad. I think that's pretty safe to say. But yeah, no, I could definitely see this one happening. The Broncos, I mean, they've been pretty turnover free recently, but they haven't played a defense the caliber of the Browns, who probably have the best defense in the NFL right now. Like Mike McGlinchey against Myles Garrett. Who wants to see that? That sounds like a fun matchup. So I don't know. Like I could definitely see the Broncos turning the ball over. I could see the Browns getting a pick six or even a fumble pick up for a touchdown. And the Broncos defense is on a tear. 12 turnovers in 3 games. They have a good of a shot as anybody to score a touchdown defensively. So, but with all that being said, Will, I have to take you up on this bet, man. Only because I mean, while I think it's a good, bold prediction, 2 defensive touchdowns rarely happen, especially when it's 2 different teams. There's a lot going on there. So I'm going to take you up on it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I got to fade this one. I think I like it a lot because of how terrible the quarterback situation is there in Cleveland. The offensive line is pretty beat up too. They don't have Nick Chubb and everything. I could see it getting really messy, especially with how opportunistic this defense has been. But 2 defensive touchdowns is so difficult to do. I'll fade it.
I almost would hope that you would have gone 2 defensive touchdowns or like a turnover ratio, because I think doing it for each team is kind of risky here with the Broncos. I don't know. Like, I would
Easy
hate
money.
to wish in that
It's
direction. Because I want it to happen. I almost feel like obligated to leave the bet so that I don't lose out on this, because now I'm feeling like, could it potentially happen because it is so bold and it is so crazy, and this league has been full of whatever, and you've got, Russell Wilson getting a little bit more slack on his reins on the offense, and could that lead to disaster? But I just really don't want to see the Browns defense get anything on the Denver Broncos. So I'm going to take the bet, but I'm going to say I could completely see it happen, and we'd all be sitting around going, Will knew the entire time. So you are a time traveler. We will figure you out soon, sure, sir. I was trying to combine 2 different things there. It did not work out. I apologize. I'm on holiday already. My brain is already gone for. I'm going to go into mine, though. And I told Zach to start the show that I was going to be predictable as always. And I'm combining 2 of my bold predictions to make it a little bit more bold, because honestly, I've just been too good at this. Cortland Sutton is going to have a touchdown, duh. And the Broncos are going to maintain their turnover streak with 3+. We said it probably wasn't going to happen last week, and it did. And I'm combining them both because, listen, it was a gimme last week. I want both of them to happen, and I'm going to make it as bold as possible for y'all.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm cleaning up. I think I need some help in the bold prediction standings, and I think I'm getting some help here.
By the way, you do.
But I think I'm getting it this week. That's a lot. I do feel like that's got to come back down to earth eventually. Again, I'll say it again. DTR really bad. This Browns offense in general really bad. I talked about the 44 and how these guys are at the bottom 2. But they also, like, even Deshaun Watson is like in the bottom 7 or so. The whole offense has not been functioning well from the quarterback position. There are plenty of opportunities for the defense. This is insane. They are leading the NFL in turnover differential right now, I think with like +13, something like that. And +11 of that has happened over the last 3 weeks. It's gotta come back down to earth at some point. But then you look at who they're playing this week, and why would it come back down to earth this week? I don't know, but I'll fade it.
Zach, let me tell you why it's going to come back down to earth this week. Because if I'm a head coach of a team in the Broncos versus Browns game, I'm saying the last thing we can do is turn over the ball. I might run 3 times every time and punt, because I don't think that other team's going to score on me either. Like, it's just that simple. I'm not even putting myself in position where I am going to be turning over the ball a lot. Like, I'm not pitching it to my quarterback. That's something I don't think I'm going to be doing this game.
You don't think Justin Simmons can come in there and punch the ball out if he wants to, if he very well pleases?
Yeah, maybe, but I think interceptions are more. I don't know, like that's more of a frequent thing than fumbles. Fumbles, I think. I mean, I don't know what Ford, the running back for Cleveland, if he's like a fumbling machine or something, but I'm gonna assume not, and I'm going to take your bet, Bree.
That's fair.
I'm gonna stay out of this one. I think after everything I said about turnovers, I think the defense does get 3. I think they might all be interceptions. And Cortland Sutton scoring a touchdown, you can set your watch to it this season. I think he gets 1, if not 2, in the red zone.
Nice. That's the key. Whoever wins the turnover battle in this game probably wins this game. I think that's pretty safe to assume, or that's when I would say 90% likely, or something really drastic.
Yeah. I'm with you. There's a very good chance whoever wins the turnover differential wins this game, because it's going to be
field position.
It's going to feel like the Steelers Browns game last week, where it was just so tight the entire time. I feel it was just both teams were so terrified to make a single mistake, because in a game like this, that one critical mistake I think can cost the whole game.
Yeah. Will, do you want to give us yours?
Sure.
Bold prediction?
Yeah.
I already went, but I think I have another one.
I can go.
Yeah, Zach, go. Sorry, I'm all off cue here.
That's like Bree's job.
Why the fuck is Joey trying to drive the show right now? I dropped the ball. I dropped the ball.
Bad news.
All right. I'll
He's on
say it. Okay. I think I'm going in a positive offensive direction to also buck Joey's trend. I guess Bree kind of had one in there too. I was thinking Cortland Sutton, but I'm going to zag now in the exact opposite direction. Russell Wilson throws a fourth quarter touchdown pass. Okay, scoring not going to happen much in this game. I'm predicting a touchdown in a specific quarter, unless you think there's going to be a lot of touchdowns in this game. That's a little bold. Fourth quarter, go ahead touchdown to anyone but Cortland Sutton. That's the bold prediction.
You're trying to be
You're trying to catch up on the leaderboards, right, Zach?
Yeah.
I think if the touchdowns are going to be Cortland Sutton, so far that's been the case. Most of them have been Cortland Sutton. Fourth quarter touchdown, like that's another thing that we're betting on. It's a go ahead. Okay, now we're really adding up, putting more on top of this one. I am definitely taking you up on this bet. There's too many things added in here. Way too many things.
That was quite the wrinkle, I think, not Cortland Sutton, because I don't think he's targeting anybody else inside the 20. After last week, I just don't think it happens. I'm not sure he trusts Jerry Jeudy anymore after throwing a perfect ball to him in the end zone that should have been a touchdown. You can kind of argue whether or not it was a drop, but it looked like a drop. I think he's just gonna – I think if we're down, like, he trusts Sutton. He's not going anywhere else. I can't see, like, Nate Adkins or Adam Troutman getting any targets with the game on the line. So I will fade that one.
I don't know. He was too busy doing pump fakes over there. So maybe more focus on the ball leads to more touchdowns. Zach, I do like how bold you are. I don't like the direction in which you are leaning. I think that it is just too contrarian to what the current trend is here with the team. Trying to be cutesy. I appreciate it, though. That does make it bold. But Russell Wilson's been leading really strong fourth quarter play, especially in the last 5 or so minutes. So I think it is, I think the first half of that is 100% good to go. I just don't know who else is Samaje Perine. They're not utilizing him in the red zone. So what else are you getting there? So it'll be interesting, Zach. I could see it happening, but I'm going to take the bet.
Javonte, Samaje Perine, Zen in the chat is with me. I think it's maybe a bit of a decoy. Sutton is, I think, if you're the Browns, it's no secret that, hey, he wants to go to Sutton. If you're the Browns and it's in the red zone and it's late in the game, like, it's not going to be the Megatron meme. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. The one where he's got the two Saints defenders just lined up right on him. It won't be that, but I would be shading coverage very heavily to wherever Cortland Sutton is. And I would be making them beat me with Jerry Jeudy or Adam Troutman or Samaje Perine or Javonte Williams. And for as much as he is targeting Cortland Sutton down in the red zone, he's targeting other players 60% of the time, 66% of the time. And Russell Wilson, for all the criticisms I've given his way, for the fact that I want to see the offense open up a little more, when we've seen it open up is in the fourth quarter when this team is trailing. And in those circumstances, just the fourth quarter, I can't isolate by trailing, but in the fourth quarter when, the game is up for grabs, Russell Wilson is 5th in the NFL in EPA CPOE composite and 7th in adjusted EPA per dropback. Or I guess per play, because it includes scrambles and everything. He's doing terrific. I in those clutch situations, I think he'll continue to be. And for as bonkers as Sutton has been, I talked about his red zone stats on the last episode. Someone else is due. That's my thoughts.
I think his success rate, though, on those 50-50 balls are so high that you could throw to him in coverage and still have him win those plays. So, Joey, I see you kind of questioning this direction.
No, I mean, all of what Zach is saying is true. It's just like when you put it all together and all of this has to happen. That's the issue.
Are predictions too bold or not bold enough? Are they
not wild predictions?
Pick a lane.
No, respect. I like it. Hey, you know what? Good job. I have one. Mine is no quarterback will go over 150 passing yards this game. The way I envision this game is like Iowa Hawkeyes versus pretty much anybody, actually. That's Iowa Hawkeyes versus anybody is the way I envision this game, where it's a low-scoring football game. I think both teams are going to really want to run the football and just not turn the ball over. Or at least if I were coaching the game, that's what I would be doing. I don't think any quarterback's going over 150 rushing yards or passing yards, and I really don't even know if they're going to be that effective on the ground. I think it's just going to be a lot of punting this game.
Wow. I was going to say this is almost akin to the Chiefs-Eagles game that we all had to witness, but at least they had a run game going. You think it's just going to be stalled out, turnover, punt away, low scoring. That's going to be terrible in the cold. It's going to be 29 degrees out there.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, hey, I don't know what to say though. This is one of those games where the Broncos are playing a Browns defense where I just have a hard time seeing any like big areas of which we can expose. And then I look at the Browns and they have DTR. So it's like, what am I doing? If I'm the Broncos defensive coordinator this week, it's like the last thing I want them to do is run the football. I'm spying DTR. I'm daring him to throw, and I'm stopping the run. And hopefully I can cause some turnovers that way. But I would just let him try to beat me because I don't have that faith in a rookie quarterback that's not even a first-round pick, you know?
I think the Browns they're obviously a really, really good defense, probably like, top 2 or 3, but they've given up 100 rushing yards, I think 6 times this season. They gave up 100 to the Ravens a couple weeks ago, and then 172 against the Steelers. So I think you have to like hope you can get close to that on the ground. I don't know if that opens up the passing game or not, but I don't necessarily see this as like having to be a 3 yards in a cloud of dust kind of game. I think there's a good chance like maybe they combine for it or Javonte gets over 100 yards, but it's not really a weakness because they're kind of middle of the pack. But if there's any way to exploit the Browns defense, it's definitely on the ground.
Yeah. Yes, I would agree. I mean, their corners are ridiculous. They have amazing cornerbacks, and then they also have Myles Garrett. Then, like Shelby Harris would be really nice starter almost for the Broncos right now. He comes off the bench for the Browns and gets their rotational snaps. They're pretty loaded up and they're ready to come after the passer. So I agree. If there's any way to go after them, it would be the run.
I agree. Part of me is worried they're not going to be able to run on this team. I think it's going to be a lot of 3rd and long situations that maybe force them to pass. And I don't know, 150 is just so low. Russell Wilson has played a lot of football in the NFL, and he's done that 15 times. Sorry, that being going under 150 yards passing. So I don't know. That's very, very low for me. And I think there'll be enough hard downs in this game. I don't think they're going to be getting kind of the easy 3-4 chunk plays they've been getting up until this point to make it 3rd and manageable consistently. And I mean, I don't know, maybe they're not able to do anything with those chances and it's a lot of quick, like 3-and-out punts, but I think they'll have enough big conversions and big plays. I don't think it's going to be like down to down consistency, but I think this might be the game where they finally create some explosives simply because they're forced to, and just an explosive or two. And I think that is dead. So I'll absolutely take you up.
Well, Zach, I will say out of those 15 times, if I'm not mistaken, 2 of those have been this season. So that's something that I would like to throw in there.
I'm looking at the Browns rushing yards per game because now all of a sudden I feel like I just had an omen drop upon me is how scared I am against this team as far as running goes. 142 rushing yards per. I'm having.
No, I did 150 passing yards. No quarterback will get over.
I know.
100. Oh yeah.
No, I know. I'm now having an existential crisis about the run game and about how I think it's actually going to shift towards that. If you think that the defense is going to be able to shut down each other, and I'm now trying to reassess what my score prediction is going to be. Sorry, everyone. I am live working through this as we speak. Yeah, Joey, I think it's too low for Russell Wilson in general. I think he'll probably eke out, I don't know, 160, 170. But 150 feels really low. I just don't think that defense is that good that they're going to be able to steal that away. But now I could see the exact opposite happening. But I'm going to take it because I need points and I want to stay on top of the leaderboard, or at least in the middle. I think I'm in the middle somewhere. Zach, is that correct?
In the
Like
bold
just
predictions?
smack dab. Yeah, just like smack dab in the middle.
I honestly haven't checked in a while, so I assume I need help, but I also might be in first place. So I haven't had the time to check. We're gonna tally up like a month and a half at once here, and we'll find out how much trouble we're all in.
Scared
Also,
money don't make money.
To Joey's point about 150 yards, he's done it twice this season. He was right. 95 yards against the Chiefs and then 114 yards against the Chiefs. That is absolutely crazy that he had 95 passing yards in a game.
Zach, would you? Okay, so that's probably the second bet. So that's at least that defense is at least comparable to the Browns as well. It's
definitely some similar.
The best defense the Broncos have played this season.
And similar styles, like very aggressive, very blitz heavy, very condensed. I feel like they want to kind of suffocate you and strangle you, as opposed to a Fangio defense that's kind of slowly leading you out. And yeah, they're both of that style. I'm worried about it. I think the Broncos, this is a game where Russ has to step up with some of the downfield stuff, because this defense is a constrictor. And if they do get great turnover luck, then fine. But if they don't, this is a game where they're going to have to open the offense up. And maybe that's why I'm betting on it, just because I think to win, they might have to open the offense up. And if the offense opens up, you'll hit 150 yards. So that's my logic.
I changed my mind. You guys scared me. I'm with you, Joey.
Oh, yeah. That's how you convince right there. You know?
Well, the point is you want them on the hook so you can get a point for it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm doing bold predictions. The likelihood's probably still not. I don't know.
But well, that's what I was thinking. Logically, I was like, really? Is that going to happen? And then you guys scared me into rolling with it. So
cool. All right, Bree, we're in this together.
We are into this together. You know what else we're in together? Broncos fandom, 5-game win streak, being really afraid of the outcomes here. But I need to hear your score predictions, because for some reason, I think we're going to be all over the map, much like we were for our bold predictions. I'm going to save Will for just a second. I'm going to go Joey, mid-ground. Give me your score prediction for Sunday, Broncos versus Browns. And okay. I'm torn here too, so I'm going to work it out live with y'all.
Okay. My score prediction, I'm going 17-10 Browns. I think it's going to be a really low-scoring game. I think ultimately the difference in this game will be that the Broncos don't really have a great run defense, and that's their biggest weakness. Like, I think their starters are pretty good. I think DJ Jones and Zach Allen are both pretty good players, but they're really shallow there. Beyond that, when they rotate the other guys in, that's where you see the issues. That's where you see Alexander Madison breaking off 20-yard runs, or Ty Chandler breaking off 20-yard runs last week. Because DJ Jones, I thought, had his best game of the year. I thought Zach Allen played pretty good. Yet we're still getting ran all over. Why is it? It's because the backups just are not that great. And ultimately, I think that's going to be the difference in this game. The Browns are a good running football team. They're going to want to bully the Broncos, and the Broncos are kind of susceptible to that on defense. So ultimately going that way, just because, the offense won't be able to work against this Browns defense either. And I hate to say that because I want the Broncos to make the playoffs desperately.
Yeah, I'm going the other direction. I'm going with a Broncos victory. I agree it's going to be low scoring. I agree with what you said about the run defense. But Kevin Stefanski is a head coach close to being fired. I think Sean Payton gives the Broncos a pretty strong coaching advantage here. I think the Broncos, again, for all the critiques I've thrown at Russell Wilson, it's because I think he's like the 16th best quarterback in the league and not quite up to that elite contract. But you know what? 16th best quarterback in the league is miles better than 44th or whatever I just said for DTR. I think they have a decisive advantage at quarterback. They've got home field. I think they're the team playing better football right now. I've cited EPA a lot here, but it's easy to cite. Over the course of the last month, which is when we've seen the Broncos on this win streak, I guess last 5 weeks actually. The Browns are still a good defense, but a lot of defenses are playing better than them. Weirdly, the Giants, I think that's inflated by the Washington game, but the Jags, the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Jets, all better than them. They're kind of on par with the Chiefs. And I don't know. I think it's not historic, and I think it needs to be historic with how bad the quarterback situation is. The run game is good, absolutely, but it's Jerome Ford. It's not Nick Chubb. I don't think it's a difference maker. I'll say Broncos grind out an ugly one. I need something that makes sense with a late touchdown. 16-12. Let's say 13. 16-13.
Interesting score there.
I agree with 98% of what you said, but do you really think that Kevin Stefanski's close to getting fired?
I think he's absolutely on the hot seat because of the Deshaun Watson thing. I think honestly, Deshaun Watson getting injured might have saved his job because they've invested so much, at least what I was hearing on my national podcast, they've invested so much into the Deshaun Watson situation, and it really wasn't looking all that great with Kevin Stefanski. And at a point, it's like, okay, maybe this isn't the right coach to get what we need out of this quarterback to justify our investment in him. Maybe we have to go elsewhere. I don't think it's like the hottest seat, but I believe he was, near he was in the range of being fired if you were to look at like Vegas's odds. But now with the quarterback being injured, I think he gets another year. But next year, I think that seat is hot when Deshaun Watson returns.
All right, I can live with that. I'm going to go Broncos 26. Browns 20. Here's how Denver gets to 26.
Let me know, Will.
The aforementioned defensive touchdown. Let's call it a pick 6 by Justin Simmons.
Right.
Marvin Mims punt return touchdown. Safety. And Cortland Sutton red zone touchdown. By my math, that adds up to 26.
Yes, and that Sutton one ruined Zach's bull.
Yeah, exactly.
We all get
that is a fourth quarter touchdown, by the way.
Yeah. I saw someone in the chat say this, and to your point about the punt return, if like this is a game where defenses are dominating to like we kind of were predicting, Marvin Mims, a huge difference maker in this game. So I could see him scoring for sure.
Very well could. I thought you were going to go higher there, Will. So I was a little thrown off by that. I don't know.
26 is reasonable.
26 is reasonable considering I watched them score a bunch of field goals. Think I'd never see a touchdown. Joey, were you getting nervous last Sunday when it was just field goal after field goal after field goal? I think this could be another game like that.
Yep, strap in.
15. Oh, Jesus. I don't know. Guys, I'm having a really hard time. I don't know why I'm struggling. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all, right? But let's say the Broncos score 18 points. I just don't want to do that to them. I could see it happening, though. I could see no touchdown happening. But let's go the majority, 1 touchdown. Let's do 16-13 Broncos.
We're really stealing my exact score. We're stealing my whole flow, bar for bar, word for word.
12. I'm sorry, Zach, that you're the only. I wasn't even paying attention to you. I have math happening right here. That was me trying to figure it out. I didn't write yours down. I didn't even listen to you say yours. So welcome to the jungle.
We're really in this together. You and Joey are like kind of
don't worry. I'll change it. I'll change it because fine. I have to have a different prediction for the freaking score sheet. So just give me a second.
No, you don't. You're good.
I don't know how to
we can ride together, Bree.
No, I'm gonna do 2016, and Zach can kiss my ass when I'm right again, and he's at the bottom of the freaking charts. Let's go ahead and end the show because I want to go and get prepared for Thanksgiving. Guys, anything else? Will, do we need to cover anything before we end the stream?
No, I think we covered it. That's good sports. We've got winners and losers from last week. We've got the recap, if you haven't seen it already, of the Vikings win. And then we've got a Bryce Young video dropping Thanksgiving morning. for your viewing pleasure with the whole family.
And hope that everyone left you stuffing under the Christmas tree or something like. I mean, it's a holiday treat to wake up to That's Good Sports videos dropping.
Stuffing
And if
under
you're
the
not,
Christmas tree.
I've never heard that before.
That is a brand new sentence.
listen, I'm dynamic. I'm different, and honestly, I'm just trying to figure out what I did over here with my score because I don't like it. I hate it. And yeah, this is the process. But happy Thanksgiving to everyone who's watching. We're very grateful for you. I'm grateful for my team. And if you're not familiar with us and you haven't subscribed already, please head on over to Let's Talk Broncos. We enjoy talking Broncos every single day of the week. We basically have videos dropping every single weekday, and then sometimes on Sundays because Zach runs a post-game podcast that you can check out as well. So going over to Let's Talk Broncos, follow us on our socials. We appreciate you guys, and we will talk to you soon. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.